Hello, vlog people. Well, it's Friend Friday, and I haven't been out of the house a lot lately. So when you can't go out of your house to do a Friend Friday, your friends come to you. This friend happens to be actually living with us because she's our baby nurse. This is Rivi. Here's Rivi. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Now, Rivi wears these cute costumes every day. I like thinking of this little costume. This one has little dogs and little big-eyed cute things. Because babies love big-eyed cute things. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you adjusting to life in Los Angeles?
Well.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now, you're from Alabama.
Yes.
Mobile.
Mobile.
And you're born and raised in Alabama.
Yes.
And you come from a long line of baby nurses.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
My great-grandmother was a baby nurse. My grandmother was a baby nurse. My mother was a baby nurse. My oldest sister was a baby nurse.
Oh, your older sister, too?
Yes.
Well, so you didn't have a choice.
No.
They said this is... But what is it about? Like, did you grow up with kids, with other people's children around you?
All other people's children around me.
But did your mom and your grandmother, did they go work and live with other people to raise children?
Yes.
Your great-grandmother?
Yes.
So that had to be like when? Like in
the 50s.
Oh, it had to be before that even. Unless your mother, everybody had children when they were 9. It had to be way. A great-grandmother would be like, that's 1, 2, okay, great-grandmother, grandmother, mother, you. That's 4 generations. So at the minimum of 20 years apart, 20, 40, 60, 80, we're talking a long time ago.
A long time.
Okay, well, tell me about that. What was that like for you? Did you feel like this was your natural inclination to do?
Yes, I tried other things, but I always come back to that. I was a tax preparer.
Oh, boring.
I was a secretary.
That could be fun.
Yes.
But you kept being drawn back to children. Why?
I just have a natural for children. I love children.
I can tell.
Yes.
I know. And you have a very natural way with them. Just the way she touches their bodies, and she just feels around and just sort of knows what's going on. Now, I told Rivi when she was coming, I said, I know there's a lot of people who bring in a baby nurse and they just leave it, turn it all over. And I said, this is not what I want. I said, I want you to think of this as you are in the passenger seat of the car and we are in the driver's seat. And you say, put on your blinkers, step on the gas, put on the brake. I do not want you to come in and take over everything because then I'll never learn. But what do most people do?
Most people, when I come in, I just basically take over.
You do it all?
Do it all.
Now, is it that they don't want to know, or is they don't have time to know?
It's not that they don't want to know, they just don't have time to incorporate it in their life. Well,
big question then. Why are they having children?
That is a big question.
That is a question. I want to know my baby.
Right.
I want to know everything of what makes him tick, what makes him... Rivi said, if you listen carefully, you'll be able to have a distinction between when your baby crying because he's wet and when your baby's crying because he's dirty. They all have a different sound.
That's right.
And so I'm starting to learn that. I'm starting to learn my baby.
Yes.
But I haven't, I read like 35 books, and I took lots of classes, and I'm probably, you can't really over-prepare, but I find that a lot of it doesn't mean anything, because once you have the baby,
that's right,
it's just information.
Babies are not textbook.
They're not. But he's pretty good.
He's great.
Tell me about Cooper. In all of your experience, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for over 15 years. 15
years, okay. In the scheme of 15 years, tell me where Cooper fits into that.
Cooper is...
Now, be honest with me. Don't just tell me things that you know that I want to hear. Tell me the truth.
Cooper is in my top 10.
He's in his...
He's number 2.
He's number 2?
That's right.
Of what?
Of my babies. Their progress. They advance.
Of his advancement.
Yes.
Of his... In what way do you feel that Cooper is advanced?
He advanced in motor skills. He's very knowledgeable. He's aware in hearing, and
he tracks with his eyes.
He tracks with his eyes.
He held his head up on day 2 and craned around and looked around. That was very shocking.
That's right. And
I have caught him in the middle of the night reading books that he's taken from the bookcase. But... So you think he's very advanced. Now, here's, of course, that makes me so happy to hear that. But then it makes me wonder, who was number 1? This child must have been a genius. Who was this child? Who was number 1?
His name happened to be Connor.
Connor?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And where was he from?
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe some, but I love this little boy. He's right behind here. You can't see him, but he is just so... I did something horrible, though, this morning.
Oh, all parents do. Don't feel bad. All first-time parents do.
Rivi was teaching me how to cut his little fingernails. And the very first one, I took the little clipper, and I clipped off the skin on his little pinky. And I cut him, and it started to bleed, and he kind of looked at me, and he frowned up and said, he looks like a little Chinese old man, is what he looked like. And he frowned at me, and there was a little cry, and I have mutilated my baby. And Rivi's like, don't worry, but it's still killing me.
But it's okay.
He's going to go to
fine.
therapy.
He's going to go. About it already.
You think? He's not going to be like, oh, when I was a week and a half old, my daddy cut me. He cut me. He made me bleed. He's not.
It's already. It's forgiven and forgot about it.
It's gone. All right. Rivi, as much as I've been wanting to do and like participate, my mom and Rivi sat me down and said, she is here, and you need to let you sleep a little bit. So Rivi's been taking the real ass kickers, like the 3 a.m. kind of stuff and stuff like that, which I'm very grateful for. But you surprised me the other morning. It was like 10 o'clock, and Rivi was not up, and I'm like, Rivi, what do you want me to cook you some breakfast? Rivi, you want me to do your laundry? It's 10 o'clock. I'm supposed to be checking to see if my own child is breathing. I'm like, I put a mirror under her nose. And I think she'd had a long night, right? But you're better now.
I'm better.
Well, did your mother ever say to you, I think you have the calling? Or did you just come to it yourself?
Well, she said, but I didn't believe her.
You didn't believe her?
No.
You had to wait until you were older and find out?
Wait till I was older and find out. But I tried other things, and I always come back to...
Well, tax and babies? Well, I guess some people would rather do taxes. It's probably more detached. Now, speaking of, how do you come into people's homes? Now, you're with us for 2 weeks to give us a little kickstart. But some people have baby nurses for a minimum of a couple of months, and some then for a long time.
Right.
You develop a relationship with these children.
Yes.
How is that? That's got to be difficult.
Sometimes it's difficult to leave. I try not to get attached, but some, like Cooper, you just get attached.
You just can't help it.
You just can't help it.
But do you try? But when you say you try not to get attached, how does that affect your work? Or do you just? I mean, it's a little baby.
Right.
So what does that mean?
You can't help but to get attached, but you have to learn to let go, separate once you leave.
Right. That's hard to do.
Yes.
Is it sad for you when you leave? Well, there's probably some babies you're like, I can't wait to get out of here.
That's true. That's true.
Now, Cooper has been very, he sleeps, there's a book called The Baby Whisperer, and it categorizes children into angel baby, which he is clearly not, sweet baby boy. Okay, now Rivi has taught me to let him be alone a second, let him look at that. He calmed himself.
Yes.
See, show me that. And my instinct would be to like, come, babe, what's wrong? And I'd come over, and no. Look, he's over that. So there's angel baby, there's textbook baby, there's fussy baby, there's bitchy baby, and I don't remember, something like that. He is definitely, like in the angel textbook, he's pretty much on a schedule.
Yes.
Although we had a minor poop crisis.
Right.
You want to explain that?
Well, sometimes babies go a couple of days.
Yeah, he was going on almost 3 full days.
Yes.
Without a poop. You know, new parents are obsessed with poop. Do you find that?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh. I'll be right back. I'm obsessed with poop. I'm obsessed with the color of it, the texture of it, the frequency of it. Somebody's getting very hungry. You know what? One thing that Rivi said to me right off the bat when she came in, she said, Cooper is #1. And so guess what? Cooper wins this. Thank you for being my friend Friday and for taking care of our boy.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Pleasure. I'm going to go feed him.
Okay.
Goodbye, vlog people. Do something wonderful for somebody.
There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone who'll watch over me.